Hello and welcome to the Other 14 FC podcast. I'm Alex, Crystal Palace fan.
And I'm Tom, a West Ham fan.
And this is your podcast for everything not top six. Tired of your team being last on match of the day and not getting the flowers they deserve? Well, that's about to change. Tom, what do we have for the listeners this week?
Forest make it back-to-back wins at Anfield. Eddie Howe gets his first victory over Man City. Everton overcome a slapping situation to win at Old Trafford. Leeds and Burnley drop into the bottom three as West Ham claw their way out thanks to Areola's legs. And you had a fun Saturday in Wolverhampton, didn't you?
Oh, Areola's legs, that sounds a bit fucking bit grim, doesn't it? Oh, God, that's a good way to start the pod. Do you know what? I'll save my review for the match for when we actually get to it, but I had quite a good one in Wolverhampton for once. I've always said it's one of my least favourite away days because they give you a dreadful pub. It's basically the away pub is the Premier Inn right next to the station, and all the pubs in town are home fans only, so there's not really much to do. But yeah, me and my mate drank in Birmingham and then went across for the game and then headed straight home, had a wasabi on the train and a couple of beers and had a kebab when I got home and passed out. I was a pretty successul Saturday all round.
Diet of champions, that. Mate, what a day out.
Mate, diet's gone completely out the window now. I remember back in the day I was talking about, it's all coming together. But yeah, with these European away days coming up and everything like that, and Christmas, I've just got to concede at this point.
Yeah, where are you off to this week for your away day?
We got Strasbourg, so podding tonight, aren't we? And then I'm going to have a quick turnaround with all the editing because I'm on a plane at, I think it's 7:50 tomorrow morning, so got to be up at 4 to get to Heathrow. Absolutely buzzing for it, but I just do not know what state my body's going to be in come Friday when I land back in London.
So champagne at Heathrow at 4 a.m. then, is it?
Mate, I wish, but nah, it'll probably be many pints of Guinness just to get the day going, and then God knows after that. Oh, how's your week been, mate? I was saying, because we met up for work, didn't we? In the week, saying it's not the same not having therapy, talking to you on a Tuesday.
I know. You just missed me that much, mate. It's all right. But I went seen you last Wednesday, and then I went to see Lambrini Girls at Kentish Town Forum. Got the no homo hat on. They're a very political band, and yeah, it was a cracking evening. Really, really good gig. And then other than that, I went to, you'll laugh at me for this, I went to a Pokemon trading card show on Saturday because I'm a massive nerd.
You are a nerd. Oh man, absolutely.
Don't worry, I'll show you my new cards later. We'll take that one. We'll do that after the show.
You can follow Tom on socials as Pokemon Collecting, Instagram as well.
Content coming soon.
Oh man, I wish we could. For Peak Barclays, we should do. Do you remember Pokemon changeover? Who's that Pokemon? Who that's Peak Barclays?
That would be sick.
I've not got editing talent for that at all.
Me neither.
Cool. Okay, man. Let's get into it. After this break. Okay, and we're back. So, Tom, I'd say where do you want to start this week, but I've actually had some threats from one of my Forest mates that if they're not first this week, you're going to be getting a strongly worded email. That's from my mate Phil at work. So wow. Yeah, we're being strong armed into where we're going to start.
So yeah, a team made it out of the bottom three. We're going to start with West Ham United.
You can fuck right on now with that. Not a chance. Not an absolute chance.
Oh, but it was so entertaining. Come on, let's jump right into it.
I couldn't even see that game for all the rain down there in the south coast. There's no point talking about any of the games that happened down there this weekend for all the rain and everything. But nah, come on, we got to get into it. I think definitely the standout result from the weekend. I don't think many people saw it coming. I mean, you can look in the media and everything they're saying about Liverpool dropping off, but I mean, Forest were bouncing back. But what I've got to say is, Mr. Dyche came with a plan, and they worked their arse off to do it for him, didn't they?
Yeah, man, it was Forest template from last season, to be honest. And just worked to a T. They defended the box. They put their bodies on the line. There's that Elliot Anderson header block off the line really early on. Really massive tone setter for the rest of the match. So that this is the Forest of last season, when they were so successful. Every man was defending the ball at times. You could throw a blanket over them. They were all getting in behind it from attack to defence. They were all defending as a team, and then countering up the pitch and taking advantage of set pieces and stuff like that. the simple elements of the game, and they might be unfashionable at times, but no Forest fan is going to be thinking that after battering Liverpool 3-0 away and like recording their second victory at Anfield after, I think it's 55 years they went without winning there before last
Yeah,
season.
was it back-to-back wins at Anfield for the first time since 1963? And I'm not gonna
Crazy.
lie, there's not many Premier League teams that can say they've had back-to-back wins against Liverpool at Anfield in recent years either. So it's a great effort. Like you said, I think you saw they basically rode the wave of like pressure from Liverpool from the beginning. I don't
Mhm.
like obviously the block off the line, a few other bits, but I don't think they were too under the cosh really. And then they broke well. They broke really well, which they've been doing against teams like on like countless bases at the moment. Like
Yeah, well, what I would say is they look a lot more comfortable doing this than they ever
they
did
look
under
happy.
Ange, like when
They
they
look
were trying to play like high up and everything. Like players like Murillo and that, and like Anderson, they want to get dirty. They want to get like they want to put their blood on the line, their body on the line. They want to like smash into people, make it a tougher game. And obviously, under Angela, it was never the case. They were trying to do way too much that they probably might not technically be suited to either. And they just look a lot more comfortable playing this kind of football. And getting a result like this is massive. Like, as I say, I know it's not fashionable, but like, this is proper football heritage to me. Like a team in the relegation zone going away thinking, "Wow, we're going to get nothing out of this game," despite the opposition, what they're going through. I know it's not a top six podcast, so we don't have to dive into it too much. Although they do play West Ham next week, so they are bound to get a victory there. But yeah, like no one would have. I don't think anyone really gave Forest a chance, even though they have turned things around slightly. They were still trying to pick up points, and they managed to do so in fashion in this one. I think you said right, like they rode the wave of Liverpool pressure. Liverpool were creating chances, but when you play that defensive style, that's going to happen. Like the opposition with that quality are going to have chances, and you just kind of have to ride the wave and hope that you make the blocks, you make the saves. Like Sells came up big a couple of times,
it's
and then
like
you
the
got to
Cells
take
of
your
last season,
chances.
wasn't it? Like it was
Hmm.
last season. There's so many things clicking with that Forest team now under Dyche. Like I think I said last week or the week before, it feels like he's just accidentally got his perfect team like in front of him now, so he can just go away and be like, "Yeah, I'm going to show you all what I can do." And it seems like it's going to be happening on and on this season now.
Yeah, well, I mean, they won this 3-0. They probably could have won it. They probably should have won it 4-0, given one of the goals. But
Yeah,
I mean, the first one is just a lethal finish from Murillo. I
proper
feel like,
striker's finish, wasn't it, from the corner? Like
yeah, like getting in on that, and also find like maybe he slices it a little bit, because I like that is a proper finish. If he's meant that to go like bottom corner, like that, like I feel like he maybe sliced it a little bit. Didn't maybe anticipate it going into like this like inside of the side netting, but he's got the quality to be able to do that. He had a shot before that was quite easily saved, but like he was in the mood in this one.
100%. Then you got the Jesus handball, which for the disallowed goal, which from my replays, I still cannot
Where
understand why it was
where was the
Jesus
handball?
handball. It is,
Where was the
isn't it?
handball? I don't get it.
It's so bad. Like I guess like that's all going to get passed over because it didn't really matter in the end of the result. But if this game
Yeah,
finishes 1-1 or Forest going to lose, I would be incensed as a Forest fan for not getting that goal being given. It's absolutely
100%.
ridiculous.
And at that point, when it's only 1-0 up, like that could have easily swayed the game. Like it could have very much changed the fortunes of the game. Like that second goal was huge. Like they get it in the end, and it's quite a well worked finish. Like well worked goal, some good crisp passing in attack just after half time as well, like 39 seconds, and then a decent finish from Savona to make it 2-0. And that is probably a real gut punch for Liverpool and a real confidence booster. Like I always feel like when you score just after or just before half time, that it massively like galvanizes you as a team.
Yeah, it changes everything, doesn't it? Because if Liverpool going 1-0 down, they've had a team talk like, okay, we're going to do it, and then it's like, boom,
Mm.
you're behind in 39 seconds. It's like, oh yeah, everything we listened to was complete bullshit. Now we're fucked,
Like I can't remember if it
basically.
was last year of the season, but I think it was the season before under Moyes' last season. West Ham kept conceding within the first 5 minutes of after half time. It was just like it felt like every week it was like, oh, okay, now we're 2-0 down. And it's just like,
Momentum
right.
killer, isn't it? And
Yeah, because you've just had that 15 minutes of galvanizing yourself, getting yourself up, getting you and your teammates up, and then you just come out and just go, oh, well now the mountain's doubled. Great.
Looking at a lot of analysis, and I think it comes in quite well with the third goal. A lot of analysis was like Liverpool not defending well, Liverpool leaving the space for like Forest to play into, but a lot of it is like Forest actually making the most of that space. Like Hutchinson with the lead up to the third goal, I've not rated him as a player, but he's kind of shut me up these last couple of performances because you can see there's actually a bit of a player in there when he's been given a space and he can do something with it. Whereas I'm thinking at Ipswich, he was never really getting those gaps to go into. He was never, and he had an injury-plagued season, didn't he? Really, with it last year. So, yeah, he shut me up. But yeah, saying Morgan Gibbs White up for the third. That's 3 goals in 3 games for him. He basically took that, not getting called up for England, was it, and then being like, "I'm going to show you everything I can do." Did he get called up for the last squad? I can't remember. But I know
God knows, I don't care about England, man.
I know.
You're asking the wrong person here.
Well, he got knocked back for the one before the last, so I'm going off that for my reasoning there. But yeah, I
Fair
mean,
enough.
yeah, and then Anfield just emptied completely, and it was great to see. I mean, Forest fans must have been having one of the best days out they've had in recent memory up there.
Well, I mean, I've got a stat for you that Nottingham Forest are only the 4th visiting side to win a Premier League game at Anfield by a margin of 3 or more goals. Do you want to have a guess at the other 3 teams who have done so?
Why'd you have to put Premier League in there? Because I could have said Palace for the season in the Cup. By a 3-goal margin or more. Is this ever?
There's been 3. Forest are the 4th team to have done it. So there's 3 teams.
Done it. Okay, Arsenal, would they be one of them?
They're not.
No. Are they all top 6 teams or?
There's one that isn't, and the other 2 are.
United, I'm guessing, are one.
They're not.
Really? Chelsea?
Yep, Chelsea have done it in October 2005.
Spurs?
Nope.
City?
Yeah, City did it in February 2021. But you're missing the other 14 team who did it.
Who did it? It sure shit weren't us, was it?
It definitely wasn't you.
West Ham?
Yes, sir.
Shit,
West Ham in August 2015. 3-0. Diafra Sacco, Mark Noble, Enna Valencia.
I thought it was a bit odd you were putting a quiz in, because you never put quizzes in. God damn it. I felt right.
It took you too long to get there. Too long.
Way too long. Jesus. Oh, man. But yeah, anything else you want to touch on that game? I mean, bounce back from Forest has been great. Everything's looking a bit rosier for them in the table. There's kind of like someone I want to touch on, like with that movement in the table, but I think wait till we go to the West Ham game to talk about that. But yeah, anything else you want to take from it, or just high praise for Forest fans who are probably going for the ringer to begin the season?
Yeah, man. Yeah, they're 3 months of the season down. Has taken probably 3 months off most Forest fans' lives, or at least like quite a few pulling hairs out over the course of the season. But as I'll save the table talk until you want to get there. But yeah, out of the bottom 3 now and looking up really.
Yeah, 100%. Cool. Okay, should we move on to Newcastle City then? Another, I don't really know. Well, it kind of is a shock result with the form Newcastle have been in at the beginning of the season, but getting 2-1 against City, they once again, I don't think this was really them riding the wave in this one. It seemed like a very much an end-to-end game from everything I saw. Would you agree?
100%. Yeah, it was really end-to-end. I think this typified Newcastle this season, where at home they are still the electric with the atmosphere behind them. They go full force into every tackle. They bomb up and down the pitch as much as possible. Like they are full throttle at home, and this game was absolutely typified that. Like they created loads of chances. They also conceded quite a few chances. I put in my notes that both teams left chances out there. Like Voltemada could have had a hat trick. It felt like Barnes probably didn't score his easiest chance out of the lot.
There's the Haaland one, isn't there, when Nick Pope comes all the way out to the box and puts pressure on him, and I think that big goalkeeper from Nick Pope, like a big guy as well, being able to do that and put him off.
There was a couple of them because they did keep giving him some space, and he is a tricky customer. He's gonna have chances, but there are times where defenders are leaving him open, like running in on goal, which is not really what we've seen from Haaland since he's been in the Premier League, with how much sort of depth people defend Man City with, but Newcastle don't do that at home. They don't sit back. Like they're gonna take the game to you, and they rode. They didn't ride the wave of like just sitting back. It was back and forth, but they rode their luck at times. I think because probably would have said that Cher was lucky to get away with that with no penalty on Foden.
No, I didn't think it was a
I
penalty.
don't think he touches the ball.
No, that wasn't a penalty for me. I think it was a bit too soft.
Really?
Yeah, I think if you're giving that, the game's kind of gone completely.
Well, the reason they didn't give it, I believe, is because he'd taken the shot technically, but he's just kicked the ball away, and then he's had his like foot taken out. So like, I think they're lucky. Like I've seen them given.
Yeah, I guess it's one of those like if it got given, we'd probably sat there being like, yeah, probably it is.
Can't
like
argue, like yeah,
6 of one, half a dozen of the other type of one, isn't it? Like it's one of those ones you don't want given against you, but you can get to grips with it if it is given against you. But yeah, I mean, like you say, missed chances by Barnes, missed chances by Foden down the other end as well, and then Barnes gets a lovely goal to open it from a good run from Bruno.
Yeah, so I'm tired, and this is probably going to be the most obvious time to put this take out there, but I've holstered this take for a while. Harvey Barnes is Newcastle's best winger. Like he's better than Anthony Gordon. I'm tired of pretending that Princess Diana is actually a good footballer and not just someone who has a little bit of pace and then doesn't do anything with it. Harvey Barnes is entirely more complete a footballer than Anthony Gordon has ever been.
Do you think
and then don't even get me started on Anthony Elanga because he's been absolute rubbish this season.
Yeah,
and then Jacob Murphy is a pigeon playing at way above his stature. Full respect to him, but like he's still Jacob Murphy. Like he's punching at the moment, and I respect him for it. But Harvey Barnes is Newcastle's best winger, and he's just come off scoring 2 against Man City. So like this feels like revisionist history and a great time to put this take out there, but I've had this in my back pocket and I just haven't had the courage to come out with it.
God damn, I don't think he's consistent enough yet. Like from what I've
really,
yeah, I'm looking back at him over all the time I've known, like not known him obviously, but like watched him play, and I think for Leicester he threw down some stinkers against us. I'd be different in a team. Maybe I need to spend a bit more time watching him for Newcastle and seeing what he's putting in a bit more. I'm not too sure.
I think he's a lot more consistent than Anthony Gordon is.
Yeah, but Anthony Gordon gets all the headlines, doesn't he, because of who he is. Like, it's just what it's going to be, and it's what it's going to be for Newcastle for forever, it seems.
Nah, get rid of him. Play Harvey Barnes.
Would you agree?
Yeah, the first one he slots home from outside the box. That was really nice, and then the second one is even probably more impressive. I feel like the acrobatic heel in a crowded area.
Mate, he just always strikes the ball well. That's one thing. Like I said, even though say he's inconsistent, watching him for his time at Leicester, he has been always one to strike a ball and hit it fucking hard and true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, he seems, maybe I've got the opposite of what you've got. He's maybe put up a few stinkers against Palace, but he always fucking scores against West Ham. Like, he always terrorizes us. So yeah, he's one of my I hate when we have to play against him. Elsewhere in this game, I think getting Livramento and Hall back was really big for Newcastle. Like those two fullbacks have been so instrumental to how they've to their success over the last season or two, and like they just offer a lot more going each way than the likes of Dan Burn and Kieran Trippier at his age and such. So yeah, I think getting those two back, whilst I think Livramento struggled at times against Doku, which fair play, Doku's a pretty tricky guy to come up against. Like he's gonna beat you at times, so you just have to accept it and hope that you have someone covering or can get back and make a tackle. But I think getting Livramento back especially was huge.
Yeah, I mean, Doku's finding a bit of form, isn't he? And I can't remember who they played the week before. Was it Liverpool where he ripped them apart?
Yeah.
He did, there was. But I mean, they controlled him quite well in this game. And then leading up to the second goal, what did you think? Do you think there was any fouls in there? They looked like they were desperately looking to try and VAR this goal out of contention.
No, I thought it was fine. No, I mean maybe an offside, but it would have been down to a toe, and then and then you start drawing lines about sleeves and toes and that, and like, oh, is his hip shorts and like all of that rubbish that we'll get. There's another one later that we get onto, and it's just like, guys, this is not what offside was for. He's just in a melee. Like let's have some common sense here. But yeah, there was nothing going on in this one for me that should have been ruled out. I was very glad to see it be given as a goal, and Newcastle got Eddie Howe's first Premier League win over Man City.
Yeah, I think second time in a decade they've beaten City in the Prem. I'm not sure if that's home or away altogether, but maybe this is a chance for them to start their season now, because maybe this is like the foundation to build on rather than the inconsistency we've seen to begin the league.
Well, yeah, I mean, looking at the table, they're on 15 points now. Got Everton next. There's a big old group of teams from like maybe fifth down to like 13th. They're like 5 points. I think
hey, we're not in that group anymore. We're European places, mate. Don't know what you're on about.
But all I'm saying is we're still at the stage where a couple of wins,
yeah,
it could be Newcastle would be top half, and it would look like people will start forgetting about their early season struggles, like Villa have, like where they're sitting in fourth now. When like first 5-6 weeks of the season, we were talking about Villa
relegated, weren't we?
Like, I still think it's early enough for Newcastle to go on a charge and to make up the gap to some of those teams higher up. But yeah,
100%. And then my last thing to touch on, during the match today commentary, there's outlined that Eddie Howe's just been inducted into the Newcastle Hall of Fame. Yeah, that's the face I kind of made.
That my initial reaction is that feels like an overreaction, but then he did deliver their first trophy in, what was it, like 50 years, 60 years?
I think
maybe even 70, I can't remember, but he delivered their first trophy in a long, long time. So if that was West Ham, give him the keys to the city, mate.
Yeah, if it's Palace, we'll have Glasner have a statue already, hopefully.
Exactly.
Cool. Okay, anything else you want to touch on that game, or should we move on to the slapping game?
Let's move on to last night's slap.
I mean, great. That's just one thing we're going to talk about. United 0, Everton 1. What's your
saying? Before we get onto the slap, Everton were the better team at this point.
Oh, 100%.
They looked really comfortable. They looked like they were like gonna actually cause Man United some problems, and they actually did go on to do so.
Yeah.
But we have to talk about the slap. Like it's just crazy. Like what? It was so confusing. Like what was going on?
Like, okay, so all I could work out from it is that he's got the ball. He's like gone to give it to Michael Keane to like pass out from the back.
Yeah, it's a bad pass.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
it, and then not moved, and then I'm guessing after that he's been like, "Why haven't you done anything there?" And then Michael Keane's either been like, "Oh, like it wasn't a good." He's probably just said something for them both to see a little bit of red, and then it goes on. But yeah, it was mad. It brought back shades.
At the time, I was thinking he had to have said something serious, because the way Gay lost his head, I was like, that's no normal reaction to just like a bad pass or a player just not being on the same wavelength as you. One, I don't think he should be passing at that point on the edge of his box to Michael Keane, who's not particularly blessed with his feet. Like the man's a brute. He's an old school centre back. And Gay should probably know better and just try and run it out, or at least just kick it, get it up the pitch. You're a David Moyes team. It's not like he's playing for Pep Guardiola, where he's being absolutely coached to pass short in every single instance. David Moyes is not going to have a go at you for kicking the ball long there. Like he's gonna be happy with that. It's like that's the right decision, because the short pass to the edge of the box to your wonderful Franz Beckenbauer central defender has gone straight to Bruno Fernandes, and he's had a shot on goal. And like Gay should just be angry at himself, and I think he apologized on Instagram, because I think he realised that it was just him. But the slap, do you think red card or do you think yellow? Because Gary Neville was very on the fence. I think he was very much like, I think it probably was a yellow rather than a red. But by the letter of the law, I think it is a red, because you put your hands to someone's face. But there's not much in it.
No, I think you got to look at it like, if that's a red, because yes, it's dangerous play and it's something you don't want kids to be like arguing in teams themselves when they're growing up. So I think it's better that stays a red, so kids like learn to control their emotions in a way on a football pitch. That might be a stupid way to look at it or anything.
No,
But
that's a very fair and interesting way to put it. I didn't think you'd didn't think
didn't think
you'd
I was
come up
growing
with
up
such
when
a
I
good answer.
yeah, that's where I
I thought you'd be all here for it. I thought you'd be like, yeah, more slaps. We need we need just like wrestling in the middle of the pitch, like.
no. And when it comes to like in players fighting against their own teammates, you look back at like the what was it, Bowyer Dyer one,
Oh yeah,
Fuller,
Dyer.
yeah, like it's all those ones where you're like, you can think, oh yeah, maybe we shouldn't send players off because they're fighting in like each other. It's not like they're affecting the other team, but it's more like what it shows like for people watching the sport. So I can understand that being a red, but I guess moving on from that, like we say, I think Everton kind of still dominated United. Obviously, they were under pressure for spells, being 10 men down, but Everton do this thing that they did to us when we went away, and they've done it to us for Mays and doing it to other teams. They're giving teams chances, but being really frustrating and like blocking the chances, having Pickford that's a bit of a wall at the very back to get past it. And they're driving teams mental with it. Like that's what
I
I'm
mean,
feeling at the moment.
it's
Like,
David Moyes. It's David Moyes ball.
yeah,
Like, like as a fan of a team under David Moyes, at times you will be pulling your hair out. Like, it will be like, oh my god, can we please get out of like defending our box? Like, it feels like the chance is going to break us at one point. But then they have these games where it works. Like, they just get out of jail all the time. And this one, I don't think they conceded too many good opportunities. There were
one
quite a
massive
lot
save
of.
from Pickford from a Xerxes header towards the end. That was pretty
Yeah,
clutch.
but this was also a classic Jordan Pickford game where he makes a load of TV dive saves and then shouts at his defenders
Mate,
for him having to do something.
mate,
He's
there
the
were loads.
pinnacle.
There were loads that were TV dives for this. That Xerxes one.
That one was good. No,
That was a good one.
that
The
save
rest,
was good. But there was about eight
yeah,
others
there
that were
were
like, "Oh, I'm gonna dive for this and palm it
100%.
away," and then shout at Keane and Co for
Yeah.
being like, "You're rubbish. You're awful."
Well, they were restricting United just having like shots from distance. Like Bruno, I think
Mhm.
had one good one that Pickford saves. That's a bit acrobatic in it, but that's just what they're doing to teams. They're just going to make you do stupid decisions in front of goal. But them in front of goal. Dewsbury Hall with an absolute strike. Once again, he's
Yeah,
another
really
one
nice
that
goal.
I've got visions of him always like hitting a ball clean, very much like Harvey Barnes, very much from lesser days as well. Like them two being dangerous together. But yeah, could the keeper have done better with that one? Do you think? I think he gets a hand to it, which kind of knocks it towards top bins area. But I think it's got to
Yeah, I think
be.
it's kind of. I mean, the keeper should probably do better because he's got a hand on it. So if feel like if he has some stronger fingertips, he could have at least palmed it away. I think Lenny Yoro, the defender, should have done much better. He kind of just tees it up perfectly for Dewsbury Hall. Like it couldn't. Dewsbury Hall couldn't have made a better touch himself if he'd have like taken one more touch. Like the way Euro touches it just goes so perfectly away from Delict and into Dewsbury Hall's path that all like Dewsbury Hall doesn't have to take another touch and he can just like get it. Like the contact is so perfect and stuff. So I'd probably blame Euro more than I would blame the keeper, even though I think he should probably get a better touch on it. But this was like they'd gone through the motions of all right, we're down to 10 men, sort of just like gather ourselves again, figure out what we're doing tactically. I think Ilman and Dye was sensational again, like the way he carried the ball out of the pitch. Like when you're down to 10 men, you really need someone to be able to relieve pressure from your defence, and the way Ndai carries the ball, the way he can play 1-2 passes, and he's always looking for it back. He's never like I'll just ship it off and let them do it. He's always looking for the return pass. He's always taking on defenders. Like he was excellent in this and really stepped up when they went down to 10 men, and then he kind of got them going again once they like settled back to settled into a 4-4-1 situation with the man down. And then, yeah, Dewsbury Hall gets his goal, and then Everton kind of just sit on it. Like they're kind of like we realise the situation, away from home, down to 10 men, got the 1-0 lead. We'll take our time now. We'll go forward if we need to, if the chances are there. But we're more than comfortable to sit in and just sort of frustrate United as well. And great result for them. I know Moyes doesn't get too many away at Big Six teams, so I'm sure he would have loved this at his former employers as well.
Yeah, he breaks his duck away to United after all that time, after being a manager there. It must have meant so much to him last night. So yeah, happy days for him. Probably just miserable he couldn't do it with you when he was at West Ham.
Mate, It was bleak at times.
Cool. What game do you want to go to next then?
Let's go. I feel like I've buried them a little bit because they're up in fourth, but let's go Villa winning away at Ellen Road, 2-1 against Leeds United. Nemecha with Leeds goal and the Morgan Rogers show for Aston Villa.
Yeah, it really was, wasn't it? Like I didn't realise Leeds have an awful record against Villa at home. I think they haven't beaten them at home for 20 years or something ridiculous.
Oh,
I know they've
really?
been obviously in Championship for time, but Villa were down there as well, so you would have thought they'd got some result against them.
Well, wasn't that infamous game where Bielsa let them score from
Yes.
wasn't that against Villa?
Yeah, that was
Like,
against Villa from memory.
yeah, so yeah, they've had plenty of opportunities to beat Villa, but this one felt really weird because like I thought Leeds dominated in the first half. I watched this one on
No,
Sunday,
definitely.
and it was like I was as a team of another team who are struggling. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, all my Leeds mates. I'm kind of have to be rooting for your downfall because only like three of us have got to go down, and I don't want it to be West Ham. So I'm sorry, but and I was annoyed by how good they were in the first half and how like on the front foot they were. They were really unsettling Villa, and I was like, damn, I did not want to see this. I wanted a comfortable Villa win, thank you.
So, were you
And then
wide when
yeah,
the
they
ball went in then? Were you like begging for them to find a reason not to give this goal as
100%.
well?
I was like they were like maybe it's this, maybe it's this, maybe it's this. I was like it's got to be one of them surely. Like like
Something.
they were like and I was like well Nemecha has looked at Martinez and gone into him and then looked up to where the ball is. I'm like that's a little bit of intent, right? Like
Littlest bit of
that's a
intent.
little bit of intent. Like he's fouled the keeper there, hasn't he? And then I was like, well, surely there was an offside. There's just a mangle of legs before it. I don't know which one, but one of them's got to be offside, surely. I
Absolutely
know.
fine.
Wasn't given, and then he scores. And I said last week, I don't really rate Nemecha. This would be the easiest goal he'll ever score. It just gets
Yeah, he got kicked into it,
hoofed
didn't
onto his shins.
that absolute dream scenario there. Was it Longstaff that went up and looked like he had a bit of a bad fall, winning the header though to get it over the keeper? I
I
couldn't,
think so, yeah.
you couldn't figure out what play it was, but that looks a bit painful. But yeah, I mean, it all seemed Leeds in the first half. They're looking dangerous, but yeah, Umrai makes
Well,
changes at half time, doesn't he?
that's the thing. Halftime changes turned it around immediately. I think it was like 50 seconds or something. Like they just like attack down the right hand side, feeds the ball through to Marlon. He flicks like he powers it into the box, and then Rogers gets a toe flick on it past Perry, and it's
It's
1-1
pretty smart
immediately.
finish, isn't it, to get past the keeper?
It's a
I think
really
it
nice finish.
what was it? It was like just under 3 minutes. I think it took to do that, and it's similar to the what we were saying about the what game
The
was it?
Forest
The
one,
Forest game,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
It's very similar to that. Like that's it. Like game plan for Leeds probably gone out the window. It might have been like, okay, we just need to make sure we hold on to this lead, and then yeah, Marlon comes in. Momentum's all with Villa after that, and Marlon made the difference there, and then gave Rodgers basically the opportunity to turn the game into his star boy game.
Yeah, well, before we didn't even mention it before that he gave away the free kick that led to Leeds' goal. So this was like proper Morgan Rogers main character game. Like so he gets the toe poke to equaliser, and then a few not too much longer later, I think it was about 75 minutes or so, he gets I felt like this was a weird free kick goal to score.
Do you think it was a free kick
Oh
before
yeah,
yeah, I think it was
yeah.
pretty good on Barkley. Like, yeah, cool. I was going to ask you, it looks really weird. Was it a knuckleball or was it your mate Perry being shite and go?
Well, have you seen the video of the Leeds fan? Is like, what's
Yeah,
keeper doing?
what's the keeper doing there?
What's keeper doing? It looks bad on Perry, but I think that you said this like a couple of weeks ago on a free kick that was similar. I think it might have been Villa as well, right? It was the Buendia one, I
When dear
think,
one,
and
yeah.
it's like, well, it has gone right over the wall. At a certain point, it is the Wolves' responsibility. I feel like there was one player in the wall who it went over who didn't really jump very high, because like if you watch it, the wall, like two on the right hand side of your Morgan Rogers, they jumped pretty high. One on the left jumped all right, and there's like a gap in the middle, and it literally goes like over that. And he's so close that it can't go that much. It can't go that high and down. Like he is literally maybe a foot outside the box. So like it's not like he's had loads of space to get the dip up and down. It's kind of like done it with its instep as well.
Yeah, that's
Like
what it is. Because the Buendia one, it's like whipped up and down over. Because that
yeah,
one, it feels like he's knuckleballed, but it's moved like very early on in like the flow of the ball. So the only thing I can give Perry is that it looks like it's going to be coming over to him, but then it deviates quite early, and by the time it's over the wall, it's too late for him to move again. But it
yeah.
might just be the camera angles of it all that don't really give it away.
I mean, I do also think that like it's pretty central. I don't think the goalkeeper is blameless. Like I said with that Buendia one, like I think the goalkeeper has to at least go for it. I think it was Petrovic in that instance at the Bournemouth game, and just like I understand the frustration. You watch it back and it looks like the goalkeeper's to blame because it's not top bins. Like it is like if he's on his toes, do I reckon that he could at least. You want to see a goalkeeper make a go for it, like
It's movement, isn't
ready
it?
for
Yeah.
like be on your toes, be ready for anything. It's not top bins. You could have at least made some effort rather than just. He looked like he was on his heels, to be honest. Like the way he reacted to it, he was firmly on his heels. He wasn't ready to make any sort of save for it. Even if that had gone the other side, he probably would have watched it go, like try and go. So, yeah, weird one. I think one other thing for Villa is I think Watkins is really struggling at the moment. They're lucky that people were stepping up around him, but this has not been a season for Ollie Watkins. He came close in a couple times in this one, but he's just not finding the back of the net. Maybe it's a situation like Mateta was earlier in the season where it's just one of those phases and it's unfortunately lasting a bit too long. They don't have John Duran this time, whereas they did at the start of last season to be powering those, like to be filling the gap. So they're having to look for players like Morgan Rogers to step up and he's had his struggles in front of goal as well until this game. Really, I think he had one in the league before this, maybe two, but
Got last week, didn't he? The first one in the
mm,
league. Yeah, but
yeah,
it all not last week, a week before the international break. But yeah, I mean, even with that, it's just all clicked for Villa a bit. I think John McGinn is one player that's just stand out for him pretty much every game, causing so much trouble for teams in the middle. He like in the second half, he seemed to just be bossing the show, like in the middle of the park, and not giving really Leeds players any chance to build anything
well,
to get through.
he's a real tone setter, isn't he? I'm sure he'll be the first person to say he's not the most talented player in the squad, but he is. He's the captain for a reason.
Yeah.
He's one of those players that you absolutely love to have in your team. I'm sure Villa fans like want him to play every single week because he'll make up for whatever talent deficiency he has with his energy, with his enthusiasm, with his work rate, and that a lot of times is worth more than a lot of talent. And yeah, I mean, I'd love to have John McGinn in my team. Him and his big ass.
His big ass, yeah. Love that. Okay, I want to touch on Leeds a little bit before we finish on
Yes.
this match. Let's start with the disallowed goal, which the handball for Calvert Lewin, which yeah, it's definitely a handball. Would it be a red card
Mhm.
handball, like because he scored with his hand, or nah, too
Nah,
harsh?
it wouldn't.
Too harsh?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't think they're ever given red card for that kind of
Nah.
handball.
But
I
if I
haven't
was a
seen that,
Leeds fan,
but
I'd be like, "What the fuck is he doing? Like, what use has he been to us like so far this fucking season? Like, especially when
I
something
mean,
like that happens, like it just be like I don't not mean it probably, but if I was a Leeds fan, I'd be like, he's just shit. He's just doing shit all for us. And then my main questions come like, are Leeds doing better than they were? Are they okay? 5 defeats in six now. What should Leeds? Should they be expecting more from this team?
I I don't think the team is got enough experience and enough talent to keep them in the Premier League. I think it was the same fears at the start of the season. I do think that maybe a manager. I mean, I don't think Daniel Farker is a good enough manager for the Premier League. I've thought that throughout this time. I was probably. I think I would have been more on the side of, even though he got them promoted as champions, letting letting him go at the start of the season. If they could have found, and Leeds do have money, they've got investment from the San Francisco 49ers and stuff, and like they've obviously sponsored by Red Bull and everything, so they've got money. Like I think if they truly backed a new like manager, a decent like a much more interesting prospect, then I think they would have had a better fist of it. I just don't see how Farke stays this whole season. I don't think he's talent. I don't think he's a good enough manager in the Premier League to keep them up. I feel like they're probably going to make a change sooner rather than later. Have you seen their next five? It is brutal.
No,
They've got So they've got Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool, Brentford, then Palace as their next five in the Premier League.
That's not good. I'm going.
I mean, who knows? They could if they get any results out of those, that'd be a surprise, in my opinion.
Mate, even after that, Sunderland away on 28th, Liverpool away on the 1st, United at home, Newcastle away, Fulham at home on the 17th of Jan is probably your next game you're looking at being like, we could get 3 points from that.
It's brutal, right?
That
like,
is.
I'm sure they'll pull out a result, but like on the face of it, with the form that they're in, especially now that they've sunk into the bottom three. Before, like the last few weeks, it was like, oh, it's okay. At least we're out of the bottom three. We've picked up a few results here and there. Like they started the season all right, but now it's dropping week on week, and now they've dropped into that bottom three. It's a lot more it's a lot more dangerous than it felt like.
Yeah, it's crazy. Maybe this is a better place to talk about the table stuff because obviously West Ham getting a draw as well. It seemed like there was that massive, well, not massive, but there was that big gulf between the bottom three and the newly promoted teams. And that's all just been eaten up now, really, hasn't it? And even though Forest have got,
games.
Yeah, even though Forest have got a couple of wins in the bounce, you got a couple of wins in a draw and a bounce, it's still so tight down there from 19th basically up to 15th. Like, it's going to be a roller coaster all this year, apart from obviously for Wolves, unfortunately. But yeah,
but that's the thing. As I alluded to with Newcastle, who could make a charge up the table, like and how Villa did, like not like Forest and West Ham have got 2 wins and a draw out of their last 3 games. Leeds and Burnley in that time 3 losses each. Like Burnley have played some difficult teams. Like Leeds have played some difficult teams. Unfortunately, when you're down there, every game is a difficult game. There are no gimmies. Like I know we just read off their upcoming, and it is brutal. But like there are no easy games when you're struggling. Like in the Premier League, it's just there isn't. But we've seen in a 3-game swing, two teams, not even just one team, like get out of the relegation zone and turn around their fortunes that looked really, really bleak three games ago. It looked like rough for West Ham and Forest. Like we were thinking, oh no, their teams are getting cut adrift here. It was getting to like 5-6 points.
Oh no, I wasn't saying oh no about West Ham being cut adrift. I was very much oh yes about the whole situation.
Bastard.
We move on to Bournemouth West Ham then. The 2-2. I just want to pull out this stat. I know we don't believe in expected goals, but expected goals for Bournemouth was 4.
Oh, we got battered.
What do you think the expected goals for West Ham was?
Like 0.57 or something?
0.65.
That's pretty damn close, wasn't it?
It was. It looked
Yeah, we got battered. To be fair, all right, first half, it was the perfect away performance.
Yeah.
But Bournemouth were going against the wind in the first half, so they couldn't really get a lot going. Anytime they did come forward, it was a bit like they weren't really finding much answers. Like they weren't. You could tell it was affecting them for sure. But and the 2 West Ham goals in the first half come from legit, like the wind behind them and being able to launch it, and then Callum Wilson chest and volleys it on both occasions. Like
he must have loved being back at Bournemouth. Must have absolutely loved it.
He tried not to celebrate, but he had a big old smile on his face.
Well, he celebrated the second one, didn't he? Because the second one was quite deft finish or a poke into.
Yeah, it was a really
nice
finish. Yeah, that was from a free kick that got headed back by Bowen, and yeah, he just sort of got a little chest on it and then dinked it into the far corner, and yeah, Petrovic had no chance. And at that point, you're thinking, right, that is a great first half for West Ham. 2-0 away from home in an absolute deluge. Like it was, the weather was horrendous. Fair play to anyone who was out on Saturday at that game on the South Coast. There's another one as well that looked absolutely dreadful. But like, I just knew it was never gonna it wasn't going to end well. Maybe because I was also at the same time watching Dortmund throw away a 2-0 lead. It was like mirror. It was like happening at Dortmund, and then it happened at West Ham, and I was like, "Fuck's sake, this is exhausting." Trying to watch two sport teams that I love, it's just like absolutely dreadful. And then, I mean, Nuno is a coward at times.
I was going to say, did you just sit back and invite all the pressure on in the second half? Is that what
Yeah.
it turned into?
So Luis Guilherme, who was our worst player in the first half, he's a very raw young Brazilian winger. He's not settled. He's not found his, like, he gets harried off the ball. He can't make a pass at times. There's a talent in there, but it is super raw. He's not ready for the Premier League. So he comes off at half time with, I think it was an ankle injury, they called it, for Walker Peters, which is a move that Nuno has been making in recent games, playing Walker Peters as a left winger. A very defensive move, given Walker Peters has played fullback his entire career, maybe wing back at times. You can understand that in, say, 75th minute. I can understand that. You put a defensive player on as a winger, and you've got a 2-0 lead to protect. He did this at half time when you were turning around. The wind is coming now. The wind is for Bournemouth. You take him off, and then about 7 minutes into the second half, maybe not even that, you take Wilson off for Souček, and it's just like you've taken off two of your front three on the day, so you've just left Bowen as the only real attacker in the match. You already didn't have Paqueta and Somerville before the match, and I can't even use that as an excuse because Bournemouth didn't have Cliver or Semenyo in this match, so like both teams were depleted in areas. But you take off Wilson and Guilherme and you put on Souček and Walker Peters near enough around half time. You've just gone, we know what we're like. We are settling in for the long haul, and it's just too much time. It's way too much time.
Especially because you could probably get Bournemouth on the break, like at some point with it as well. It's madness. But
Bournemouth just turned this into, all right, Lewis Cook is going to play in at centre back because West Ham are offering nothing, so we can put a midfielder at centre back and take off Diakite, and then we can just have him dictate play. And then they were just putting on another attacker, get another one on. You want another one? Here's three more, and it was just like the amount of saves Alphonse Areola made to get us away with a point in this one was insane.
What about Kilman's save he made for the penalty?
Mate, that man is a liability.
I've literally just got a note. Kilman looks really lost.
He just does these things week in, week out. Like over the course of the game, he doesn't do anything particularly good. So it's not like he's offsetting them. He's just like either just below average and then has a massive clanger. It's just like, what a waste of £40 million. Like, if he looks like a centre back because he's big and tall, but man, oh man, that boy is clumsy. What a waste of money he is. He decided to go for a swim and
take the ball with him.
Yeah, this is my ball. I'm going home now.
Having a blast a penalty home. Only way to take a penalty in the rain. Then
it was the most there was no chance of saving that penalty. Like it was before Areola had even moved. It was past them.
Yeah, so many big saves from Areola for that as well. But then made 2-2 with the Unal goal. I mean,
unreal ball from Senesi, and it's all about the pass from Senesi. As a fan of West Ham, it's like, oh, you should be defending that a lot better. Like, you shouldn't be allowing a centre back to make that pass. But you do have to just sit back and go, like, he just split everyone, like, found a killer pass. And Unal, who I don't think he scored that many goals, but he scored 2 goals against West Ham in back-to-back Southamptons that have got Bournemouth a draw. So
That's heartbreaking. I mean, you're very lucky you got away with a draw. There was so many more big
oh,
saves
so
just after
much.
that. Tavernier smashes over the bar as well at the end. I
Hmm.
mean, if you're Bournemouth, you're mad that you're leaving 2-2, but I guess you
The
probably
big
take a few.
one, the big one was the Krupi Junior miss where he's
Yeah,
like he's through on goal and he just like hits it and Ariola's rushing across and it just hits his legs. That was the one that I was like, maybe we can get away with this. If we're getting that slice of luck, then maybe we'll get out of here with a draw. And then Fulkrug came on and did fucking nothing.
when Creeper was through, is that when you were doing a Mo Sislak, you're opening up the oven, about to put your head in. Like, yep, this is it.
It was
Oh,
the most one-sided half of football I think I have ever seen.
yeah, I'd agree with you on that one. Okay, so where should we move on to next? Can we go on to Wolves Palace?
You don't want to start. You don't want to go on the Brighton v Brentford, no?
I don't really even want to talk about that game, if I'm being brutally honest. Jugger may be my new worst enemy. Yeah, um, let's
No, no.
go.
Go on. Talk about Palace.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to talk about in this game. Pretty routine win. I think there was a big gulf in the quality of the teams. I mean, there was no new manager bounce for Wolves. I think a lot of Wolves fans are kind of resigned to what's coming now, and it might be more Rob Edwards' planning for the Championship rather than the Premier League. We really should have had a goal from Mateta early doors when Pino slips him through. I think if that chance goes
Mm,
in, it could have been like a battering, a 4-5-0. I mean, Wolves did have a couple of chances from a free kick, a rebound for
they're kind
Hennessy.
of
Like,
half chances,
it's
weren't
half
they? Right?
chances, yeah.
Like,
There
yeah.
was
I don't. There wasn't a lot. This felt like a game of poor quality, except for one player who will come on to. I think everyone like Wolves, few half chances, kind of poor defending at times. Like like what you'd expect from the team who are bottom of the table. Like
it
they've
was it was
yes they've
yeah.
got a new manager in, but he's not going to make magic out of this situation. Like he's also not like Sir Alex Ferguson or someone who's going to come in. Like he's not Pep Guardiola. Like he's here to rebuild this team for the championship next season. Like I think we all know that, and I think
Yeah.
even from Palace side of things, like you say, the Mateta chance probably puts that one away 7 or 8 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Like you would have backed him to score that, and then maybe it goes on to become a bit of an easier game for Palace. But I think it was a little bit of a slog with some poor quality all
Yeah.
round, really.
It was a slog, but I was there with my mate Jack, and I was there the whole time. Like, I'm not worried about us losing this game. I'm not worried about us even drawing this game. It's like we are
Yeah,
winning this game. There was
yeah, yeah.
no. Usually, you know me, I'm pessimistic as hell. Like, we always think the worst, but I was there the whole time. Yes, I maybe probably had about 4 or 5 beers, which isn't as many as usual thinking about it, but I was just there like, this is going to be a comfortable win. And then, yeah, our tiny little Pino ripped him apart.
That was the one player of quality was Jeremy Pino. Like I think he's been getting steadily better. Like maybe
Yeah,
going in and out of
I,
games. Like I think he's come in already at a decent level, and maybe it just hasn't had the end outcomes that you might have wanted to like
yeah,
him to early. I think this is his first Premier League goal, right?
yeah, he's missed a couple of good chances. Like, I've been saying, if he could finish his dinner, he would be world class. Because there's
Mm.
been a couple of games where he's run through teams, and then the last ball isn't great, the shot isn't great, it's even straight at the keeper, it's wide. But he's also, because he's so small, he does seem a bit weak in challenges in the Premier League, and especially our game against Millwall in the Cup. It was very noticeable. Like, he wasn't ready to be playing against people who are going to hit you every time you get the ball. So I think he's going
Yeah,
to get
well,
that. He's going to learn a lot.
I think you get that with players who come over from Spain, especially if they are sort of more the diminutive types. Like I think
Yeah.
they seemingly either go two ways. They either end up like your sort of David Silvers, who are just too technically good for anyone and will just play around you, but also can ride the bumps and the bruises. And then you've got some other players who it's just too much for them. Like they just can't. They're not up to it, sort of thing, and they struggle a lot more. I think Pino is probably more towards the David Silva side, but it's just like getting used to a new league, and he's just sort of like figuring out what he can get away with, what he can't, like how to avoid the challenges as well, and how to find the space that he was given in this one to slot it. Really nice curling effort. And Munoz's goal was all right as well.
Yeah, no.
The only note I have for him is he's got absolutely shocking tattoos, though. That one of the child, his, I'm assuming it's his child, but it looks like a small little a little blonde boy, like on his thigh is just like, oh, why
But,
footballers have such bad tattoos, man?
but he's got the FA Cup on his leg as well, so I've got nothing against that. Nothing wrong with an FA Cup tattoo on
Let's
your
see, he
lower
didn't get
body.
it on his ass.
Hey, it probably moves on to his arse. It's quite big, but yeah. From a Wolves perspective, I think it's just going to be a dour season. The Wolves fans were in good spirit. I think when we were 2-0 up, they were chanting we're fucking shit. So I think they kind of know how it's going. And yeah, like I said earlier in the show, I actually enjoyed my trip to Wolverhampton this time. My mate checked in, enjoyed because he he hadn't been there before and he didn't really know what to expect. But we got there, it was pissing down with rain, it was grey as hell. And then as soon as the game starts, blue skies. As soon as we leave, it starts raining again. It's like absolutely everything we expected. But yeah, nothing really more to take from that. Let's move on to the game I really didn't want to talk about. I even put I don't want to talk about this game in my notes. The game that Brentford should have won, but did everything they could to not win it. It seemed.
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, they probably should have got a draw given they had a second penalty that was saved. But I think Brighton were the slightly better team in my opinion. I think they were two good teams, pretty end to end at times. Like I don't think they like either team dominated, but I think Brighton probably overall like created the better chances and like maybe just edged it for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lovely back heel for Thiago to get the pen for Otara. Like, I don't think there's any questions
Oh
outside
yeah,
the pen, is it? Yeah, 100%.
nah,
Like,
awful. Yeah, Stonewall penalty.
yeah, then Thiago gets another goal, keeping him just behind Haaland in the Premier League top
Hmm.
scorer ranks. And then the other striker of the afternoon just keeps scoring. Welbeck comes in. Oh god, I think I put minted with a goal with a killer ball rather than minted with a killer ball. Damn, autocorrect.
Yeah, well, he was minted in this game, like Yankuba Minte. He again, I think he picked. He started the season super hot, and then I think he kind of got a bit quiet for a few weeks there. But this was him back to his best. Like whenever Brighton were attacking, it was going through Yankuba Minte. Like he gets the assist for Welbeck. I think he's involved in the winner as well for Hinchelwood. Like he's just like whenever they were needed someone to either take a defender on or to get a ball in the box, it was Minte stepping up. Like he has really come to the party this season, and yeah, I think that he was excellent in this game. Uh, uh, the second penalty, De Kuiper getting a bit handsy. I think it's one of those where he's given the referee a call to make where he probably didn't need to. I
Yeah,
don't
he
think the
didn't need to
situation really
really.
called to get handsy.
At the end of the game as well, it's a stupid thing to be doing as a defender, really. So, yeah, but I mean, they get away with it. Just my notes. Damn you, Thiago. Saved by the Bartman, I
Well,
think.
we get we compare the two penalties because he goes left for both of them. The first one, absolute powers at home, like really nice, like really good height on it as well. The second one is he goes left again, less power. It's on the floor, savable distance in the corner. For like it's not tucked in the corner at all. So even though he's got less power on it, he doesn't get it out with the reach of the keeper. It's an easy one, I think, for Bruggen to save. And I was curious to see if he'd go the same way as well, because it's all like if you don't often get two penalties in a game. If you do, the keeper is the keeper going to think, do you go the same place or do you are you
It's
going to mix
always
it
a
up?
double bluff.
And Thiago didn't, and he probably wishes he went the other way.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, not much else to talk about in that game for me, unless there's anything you want to touch on.
Yeah, you've run through it pretty quickly. Let's
Went
just
through that
shout
quick,
out
yeah.
Brentford. I mean, Brentford attacking wise, Sade and Utara are just a delight to watch. Like
Yeah,
they are like they're similar to players like Saar, where they're just like so direct and they're just like really exciting to like you get them in space and they're just like they can be unstoppable, those two, if you give them the space. And then also it didn't lead up to anything, but Brentford were almost undone by their own long throw where they threw it into the box. Brighton got hold of the ball and countered, and Kadioglu had a shot that probably should have passed it, and Brighton
yeah,
may have had a better shot and maybe would have scored. So, may I think early signs of teams maybe figuring out how to defend long throws, or like it may be the trend dying down. Very, very early signs, just the sort of the first instance of it. But
No,
I don't
you're
think
right
that
though.
trend will be long for the world.
Yeah, you're right. It's what happens though, isn't it? It's like the trends. Everyone's going for corners. Everyone doing long throws. They'll figure out how to defend them. There'll be a new way around, and it'll all be okay. It's
There'll be
mainly
an
going to be
extra man in the box, pacey guy up top, like just outside the box. Get the ball, like get a head on it, get it to him and counter, and because the attacking team have brought forward their centre backs for this, there'll be gaps and stuff. So it will go out of fashion again eventually.
yeah, 100%. Cool. Okay, should we move on to Fulham? Fulham Sunderland 1-0 to Fulham. Again, a massive win for them. In all honesty, I think my main thing I want to touch on before going into the actual action is how good did Sunderland look in their blackout kit, especially Lafleur with the black boots and black gloves and black leggings as well. I was like, shit, that's actually so cool.
Yeah, they looked good. They didn't turn up and they didn't play very good.
Like you're saying, they looked good, but they weren't playing well.
No, they didn't. And Fulham dominated this. They created so many chances. They had 24 shots to Sunderland's 4. Like it took them a long time to get the goal, and it took, I think, Samu Chukwueze again coming off the bench and providing super sub sort of impact. Like Kevin had done pretty well, but like when Chukwueze came off the bench, he was really running at defenders, and maybe it's the tired legs. Again, another very horrid rainy day for them. Like Sunderland, like just didn't really turn up to this. I have in my notes that they didn't turn up in an unglamorous game. I think that my one criticism might be that we've seen Sunderland turn up against the big teams. We've seen them turn up against on the TV games and maybe a Saturday 3 p.m. kickoff away at Fulham goes a little bit more under the radar and maybe doesn't get the juices flowing as much for some of these players, and they didn't really turn up.
Well, no, from watching this game, it seemed very much like when they came to Selhurst and they got the 0-0, it was very much like, I can't see this team doing much, but I can see them definitely defending. And yeah, Roofs gets called into action again, as we expect. Like Harry Wilson and Kevin looking very busy in the first half, even though like Kevin comes off. And then, yeah, it's just, they could have easily walked away from this game with a 0-0, I think, and no one would have really batted an eyelid, even though Fulham were knocking down the door the whole time. But that's exactly what happened for Palace against Sunderland. And it takes such crazy ball into the corridor of uncertainty, which is one of my favourite things, to get the goal to basically unlock Sunderland.
Yeah, man, Roof's proper stuttered on that one. You saw him take a step and go, I can't make it. I don't know. It's, if someone gets a toe on it before me, then it's going past me, and like that, just that one little bit of indecision, bam, like you've conceded. Like you just can't afford that as a goalkeeper, and yeah, you're gonna have those times. Like I won't be too critical of him, but you can't get away with that really, and it's just all right. We didn't turn up today. We chalked that one up to a loss. Let's dust ourselves off and go again next week, sort of thing. I don't think it's going to harm them too much in the long run. It's just one of those games. But yeah, Fulham. I mean, excellent 3 points for Fulham.
Massive 3 points. I mean, if they lose that game, they're basically below you guys.
They're joint. Yeah, they would have got a draw out of it, so they would have been joint with Forest. But you know, with West Ham and Forest picking up points in recent weeks, it's been important that Fulham have picked up a couple of wins as well, because they were before this 3-game stretch, they were looking pretty dire, and it was
you just weren't seeing where they were going to win from, were you? So you watch, we'll be talking about Leeds in a couple of weeks' time, like the same thing. They'll get the win. They'll be looking.
But that's the thing. Someone's going to do it.
Someone's going to do something. Cool. Anything else you want to touch on that game? It all kicked off a bit at the end as well. I'm not really sure what that was all about. I mean, it might have just been frustrations boiling over the game, but did you see that or hear anything about it?
No, I didn't see that.
No. Cool. Okay, let's move on to then other 14. Well, I guess lost to the Big Six team this weekend, with Burnley losing 2-0 to Chelsea. I watched the beginning of this game in the pub because it was the early kickoff whilst I was in Birmingham. It looked like Burnley had a lot of going forward to start the game, but then Yeah, I think I said to my mate, like, well, yeah, this will happen, but Chelsea will get a goal, and that'll be it, pretty much. And it's pretty much what it turned out to be. I mean, Burnley kind of kept themselves in it, as they have in many games, but I mean, this was probably a step too far for them. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean they kept it tight for what, about 80 minutes until Chelsea got the second one. Like kept it at 1-0. Thought maybe we can get a goal on the counter. I don't think they ever really looked like getting that goal.
No, I
They had a
think Fleming
couple
had
of
a half chance.
opportunities.
That was
Yeah,
about
the
it.
Fleming one's probably the one that you think on another day he probably does better with, but I do think they were just second best really, and one of those situations where I can't imagine how different the amount of budget they've spent on the two teams would be
For
between
real,
between
yeah.
Chelsea and Burnley. Like I think it would just be insane. What I do think though, like I think Burnley have had a really tough run. The last three games, West Ham, but their last three games they lost. They were Arsenal, West Ham, Chelsea. So like it's a really tough three game streak. Before that, they won two on a bounce. So maybe they'll be looking at turning their like fortunes around. Like it's so tight down there that it's next week it could look completely different. I think Burnley need to galvanise themselves a little bit. They've got much better upcoming fixtures than Leeds have, so they'll probably be looking at hopefully turning things around. But
Yeah.
the only other thing I have to say about this game is that they should have had a penalty because Chalobah handballed it from the goal kick situation. Don't know
Yeah.
if you saw this.
Yeah, I did see it when
Yeah,
what was it? Sanchez passes the ball to him and he puts his hand on it.
yeah. Sanchez clearly kicks it from a dead ball position, and then Chalobah puts his hand on it, and and it's a penalty.
That's the
I
thing.
completely understand, like not at the time, not understanding and like not seeing it, but like that's what VAR is there for. That's
Yeah,
the rule.
mate. If that was Burnley did that, you know it'd be a penalty all day long. Do you know what I'm
100%.
saying? It's just always how it goes. But cool. I guess that's everything. And then, yeah, a big thing. You're talking about all teams down bottom, teams down top. We're going into this Christmas period now, where their games thick and fast over this next month. It's really going to be telling for every team where they're going to finish in the table. But also, it's going to be telling for us because we're not sure when we're going to be able to pod during each one. So we might be coming at you thick and fast with shorter episodes for the midweek games. I think it starts next week, doesn't it, with the Tuesday,
Hmm.
Thursday split on games. So yeah, maybe be looking in your podcast inbox to see what's popping up every now and then. Might not be as in detailed, might just be us talking absolute nonsense. But yeah, we're going to try it out this season and see how it goes. Cool. Okay,
Yep,
should we move into a break and then move on to Peak Barclays?
let's do it.
Tom, I'm going to put forward for you an Ivory Coast international, had 114 appearances in the Premier League, 35 goals, 10 assists for Swansea, Man City, and a short time at Stoke. Any guesses?
It's got to be Wilfred Boney, right?
Yeah, Wilfred Boney, exactly. Absolute like bagsman. I think he partnered one of our other Pete Barclays, Pete Michu at Swansea. I think they had an overlapping time, but Michu was more down the injury prone list at that point. And yeah, I mean, came over to Swansea from the Eredivisie where he was top scorer for I can't pronounce this team's name. Vits
Vitesse Arnhem.
that's Arheim, that'll do. Don't know why I even tried to attempt it. I thought I'd just give it to you. But yeah, got picked up by Swansea after that. And yeah, he's just a lethal bagsman in that period. He very much sums up the Me Too side of it as well, I think. Like a lot of things were going right at the Liberty Stadium back in those days, weren't they?
Yeah, we kind of stepped in to replace Michu after injuries took their toll, and Wilfred Boney was someone that West Ham were linked with. It was one of those. I'm sure if he'd have come to us, he would have scored 3 goals in 60 appearances before going off to Italy or somewhere, as West Ham are wont with strikers. But you know, he stepped into that Swansea team and looked like really, really comfortable at the Premier League level with them. Felt like he was bagging goals
Yeah.
every week down in Swansea. But yeah, like proper good player. Always another one of those players that I hated coming up against, especially because we were linked with him. It felt like he was going to score against us.
And you're linked with every striker, so it doesn't really matter.
True, very true.
Yeah, he was player of the season of Swansea 2013, 2014. Then he got a big move to City, which I don't think really ever paid off for him, did it? So he should have really stayed where he was.
The grass isn't always greener at the top 6. Stay with the other 14, Wilfred.
Then he had a loan spell at Stoke, and then he went back to Swansea 2017 to 2019, where he made 22 appearances, but never really recaptured the magic that he had before. A couple of interesting facts for you.
Let's go.
He's the first Ivorian player ever to play for Club Always Ready in Bolivia, and I think they have a rivalry with Club Sometimes Ready going on as well.
Is that a bad joke, or is that an
That's
actual
my dad's
team?
joke. That's my dad's
Right,
joke.
okay.
And
mate, we're gonna have to go see Club Always Ready now. What a name!
And then
quick trip to Bolivia.
And then finally, his son Jeffrey plays for Newport County in League Two, so they have a Welsh connection there. And I think Wilfred and Jeffrey are two class names, aren't they?
That is some peak Côte d'Ivoire names. They have gone. They just love Wales apparently now.
They absolutely live for it. Cool. Okay. Yeah, that's everything. Where do you want to put him on our list? I could probably put him quite far down, maybe above Yannick Bolasie for me.
Ooh, where's Yannick Bolasie? Yeah, we'll settle him in. I think Thomas Hitzelsberger is a little bit more Peak Barclays for me. So yeah.
I'd agree.
Thomas Hitzelsberger at 12, Wilfred Boney at 13.
Perfect. Cool. Let's move into them predictions for what was this, midweek, and is this just midweek?
No, this is just for the weekend. Because we'll review this and then we'll do the midweek ones.
Yeah, that's all good. Cool. Okay, so Brentford Burnley at the G-Tech. I think I've got Brentford for that one. Maybe 2-1. 2-0.
Yeah, I think Burnley are going to try and make that a difficult one, but I think Brentford will grind out a result. I think I'm going to go 2-0.
Nice. Cool. Then Man City Leeds. I think that could be a 5-0 showing for Leeds, similar to when they went to Arsenal, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't see this bit ending well for you, Leeds. I'm sorry, boys. I'm going to go Man City 3-0.
Cool. Then Sunderland Bournemouth. That's actually quite an interesting game up at the Stadium of Light. If Semenyo's playing there, you could imagine it could be a few goals in that game. I'm gonna go for a 3-3, an actual real interesting game.
Damn. I'm gonna go 1-1. I think it'll be a little bit tighter.
Cool. Everton Newcastle, 5:00 kickoff on Saturday. That's a hard one to call. I might be back in Newcastle in this one, just thinking that they're going to get their bounce and get back into things. Even though Everton did have a good result on Monday night, probably 1-0 Newcastle.
I'm going to go the opposite way. Everton at the Hill Dickinson, Newcastle's away form. I'm going to go 1-0 Everton again.
Cool. Spurs Fulham, 8:00 on Saturday.
Hey, at least it's two London teams. At least they're not making anyone do a trek.
That does make it a lot better. I don't know of this one. I'm probably going to go 2-1. Do I trust Fulham? I'm going to go 2-2. Go for it, Desmond.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go 1-1. I think Fulham could get out there with a draw.
I think they could do something now as well, yeah. Then the 12:00 kickoff on Sunday, Palace United, which I'll be going to.
What time for football, eh? 12 o'clock on a Sunday.
On Sunday is absolutely ridiculous. But I guess I just got the rest of the Sunday to enjoy when we batter United 3-0.
Yeah, man. I mean, the Thursday night complicates things.
Yeah.
But I do think Palace are still at that stage where hopefully they've got enough in the tank to see off a pretty mid Man United team. I think I'll go 2-1 Palace.
Nice. Then Villa Wolves at 2:05 on Sunday. I'm not sure why it's the 5.
I don't know why these three kickoffs kick off 5 minutes past 2.
I think it's a campaign for something, but I'm not sure what, because I remember it last year. So we might be able to report back on what that was next week.
Well, I'll be at one of them. I'll see if they mention it.
So Villa Wolves, I think, Villa, easy win here. Probably a 3-1 maybe.
Is this a derby? This is a derby, right? Or is it just a local rivalry?
I mean, from what I've learned from going to the Midlands to many away games, is that they all just hate each other. But
True.
it's
Well,
the main hatred is
Villa haven't seen Birmingham in a while, so I'm sure they'll probably just take it. But yeah, I think they're going to smash Wolves in this one. Unfortunately, I'm going to go 3-0 Villa.
Yeah. Forest Brighton, another interesting game. I've probably got Forest for this one. A Sean Dyche masterclass and 1-0.
Yeah, Brighton similar to Newcastle, really, really good at home. Probably not as good away from home. So I think Forest. Do I think Forest can make it 3 wins on the bounce? No, I'm going to go for my weekly Desmond. I haven't predicted a Desmond yet. It's going to be 2-2.
That's cool. And then finally, West Ham, Liverpool. Your boys at London Stadium against Liverpool, who are absolutely atrocious at the moment. Probably going to go for 4-0 Liverpool.
That's the thing. That's the bloody thing. Is it's like this should be the most confident I've ever felt about facing Liverpool, and it's just not. Like it's just no chance of that. Like I think we can win, but it's going to be grind it out. Yeah. I'm going to go a 2-1 West Ham win.
Nice.
Don't see either team keeping a clean sheet.
No, to be fair, 4-0, maybe 4-1 for me. Okay, let's wrap it up there. We have had a few technical difficulties this week, but hopefully you've not been able to notice with my master editing that's come in. If you have, then very sorry, and well done for making it this far. Otherwise, feel free to rate and review the podcast, tell your friends, and follow us on socials on Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, and Reddit at Other14FC Podcast, and email in at other14podcast@gmail.com. But yeah, otherwise, I'll catch you next week, Tom.
Have a good week.
See you. Bye.